was the information specialist at a radio show. This is Army Specialist Ron Williams at Stuttgart Post Reports. I had this little radio show, and I was trying to give the GIs a little bit of feeling about where they were, because they didn't know, didn't give it. I mean, you know, the base, and that was it. So I was discovering this place, Germany, and trying to pass it on to the GIs. You know, this is an exciting place, you guys. I decided to stay in Germany. I said, I'll stay here. So I got out of the Army and stayed, thinking, okay, I'll run around and see what's happening. Study voice, become an opera singer, tenor, I thought. And I need jobs, I need to work. So I became a baggage loader on a Pan American at the airport, loading planes, baggage. That's first. Then I became a butler for a former SS colonel. And I was his chauffeur. He's sitting in the back, big guy, 5 meter to 6 foot, whatever. I mean, Ron, last knacken, I was your evil road saying. I had to drive the Autobahn fast. He sat back drinking Dornknot schnapps. And I found out he's meeting his former Army buddies from the Second World War. They play Scott and drink and talk about the old days, the war days. And I'm sitting there at this table listening to these old guys, these guys talking about the most exciting times of their life, the Second World War, North Africa, this. And they really, it was like a satire. They sit on the table and they move the salt and pepper. Yeah, that's why. The morning of the 14th, you remember the 3rd Division was up here, and you guys are, no, the Russians. And they're doing all these war things, and I'm sitting there listening to these voices. And that's how I picked up my characters for later for my shows.
They said it was impossible to turn hearts of stone to clay. They said it was impossible.
And I realized then, slowly, that this country would be an example for any other democratic society because they had the most dirt to get out of. I mean, you know, their past was so ugly that if they didn't get out of it, and if they did, hey, the best example of the country can do it. So that became for me like a reason to stay here. I always tell my kids on my tour for tolerance, I do a school tour since 2000, where I go to schools and tell them about racism and how to avoid this trap of getting caught in the old stuff that we've gone through before, that their grandparents and so on. It's fun then to be able to talk to them and tell them from your side, and they hear from an authentic, this guy's lived through it, he knows what he's talking about.